5 Evil Dead films: Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Evil Army of Darkness, The Evil Dead, and then Evil Dead Rise. So rank them 1 to 5, Patrick. How do you rank the Evil Dead franchise?
We're going to go back and forth, each of our
I
fives.
think we just go for our top.
Oh, do all mine?
Just
Okay.
give top 5, and then I'll give my top because it's only 5. So
Yeah. So coming in at number 5 is the original Evil Dead, and I hold your pearls, Evil Dead fans. The only reason the original comes in, it's the one I've seen the least. It just is. It's never been readily available to me, so I would put that at the bottom just because I haven't seen it that much. My number 4 would be Army of Darkness, which I actually really enjoy and I like, but it's not really part of the series. I mean, it is, but it's not the other kind of movies. It's a complete diversion. Then I would go Evil Dead 2. Loved it, seen it many times. Enjoyed seeing it with audiences. It's a great movie. Then I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Evil Dead Rise, which I like very much. I think it's a good movie. I think we've talked about it plenty today, and it's clear why I enjoy it. I think it's incredibly well done, and I want to see more of that little bit of the universe. And I'm gonna go with The Evil Dead 2013 as my number 1 because it's just fucking nasty. And I like nasty, and it's so damn nasty. And something about it's like you don't even feel safe when you're watching it. It gets right under your skin.
yeah, it's a very brutal film.
Very.
It is everything that Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 is, except not funny at all. Like, there's no comedy in there. And there's nothing
not funny.
Not at all. All right, so my list starts out at number 5. I'm going to go Army of Darkness. I don't dislike Army of Darkness. It's just such a different film, and it leans much further into the comedy and the goofiness than any of the other films. He's time traveling, it's
a comedy.
I don't dislike it, but it's a vastly different film than any of the other Evil Dead films. So that's number 5. Number 4 for me is the original Evil Dead. I like Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. But much like Sam Raimi basically said, I'm going to redo Evil Dead as Evil Dead 2 and just have more money and a little bit more of a budget to make it and make it a little bit better made. That's what he did. And so Evil Dead would come in at number 4. Number three and number 2 are tough for me because they're interchangeable. If you ask me this question tomorrow, I might give you a different order. Right now, I will say The Evil Dead, the Fede Alvarez film, will be number 3. Love it. Mm-hmm. Brutal. Relentless. I wish they would do a sequel. I know he's talked about it, but it's all kind of faded away. I wish they would do it, but it seems like now we're kind of in this new Evil Dead universe. Not complaining. I just wish we had gotten more out of that before we kind of moved on. Number 2 right now would be Evil Dead 2. It is goofy, it is funny, and I love Bruce Campbell. I am admitted Bruce Campbell fan. He is just he is the epitome of the goofy hero character that he is, the Ash character, chopping off the arm, slamming on the chainsaw. I love it. I love that. And then number 1, probably surprised a lot of people, my number 1 film is Evil Dead Rise. I loved Evil Dead Rise. I thought, as I said numerous times, I hate to keep repeating myself, it was the perfect combination of the Fede Alvarez style of just brutal, relentless, and then the kind of goofy, but not goofy, but kind of sprinkled in with
I'd just say it's fun.
It's fun. They're like the scenes like where the mother is like talking to, like I said, the whole, mommy's with the maggots now. Like it's creepy, but also kind of like goofy and funny. I loved it. And also, even though they're telling me it's LA, I loved the claustrophobic setting of the apartment building. And I keep saying downtown Detroit because it reminds me so much of The Crow. That dilapidated building, the rain, I love that setting. And again, I love claustrophobic horror films. I adore claustrophobic horror films. And I know people are going to say, well, hold on, Evil Dead 2 is in a cabin. Yeah, it is, kind of. They go way out the cabin. People come driving in from outside and go to the cabin. Okay, but this one is very much takes place in 80% of the movie takes place in this apartment. And the other 20% takes place in the apartment building. You know what I mean? Like there's very little outside of that. The cold open and then the garage in the apartment. And then at one point we do see the sister before she comes to visit Ellie. She's in a bathroom of a club that she's working at. And that's like a little 2-minute clip before she goes to see her sister when she finds out she's pregnant. That's also, I didn't even mention, we talk about another creepy scene. Talk about the creepy scene is when Ellie tackles her sister and she hears the baby and she goes, I'm going to take your soul. And then she looks at you, she hears the baby in her sister and she goes, two souls. I was like, oh God, that was so good. This is so creepy. Evil Dead Rise is number one for me, Patrick, and it's not because I don't love the other ones. I do, but this was the Damon Evil Dead movie. This was everything I want out of an Evil Dead movie.
I think it's no mistake that both you and I pick the least Evil Dead movies of for hardcore Deadites. Because we're not really Deadites. Like we enjoy and understand the franchise, but we're not as dedicated as all these other people. So these movies speak to us because we're looking for something a little bit different. And so it makes sense that both you and I picked the new stuff as opposed to the old stuff.